second. You let me know if you see my screen. Do you see my screen now?
Yeah, yes, teacher, I can see your screen.
Okay. Now, as you know, we are going to have today a grammar time that is about uh, the structures of used to plus the infinitive and be or get used to plus the ing form of a verb. Do you know that was the topic for today?
Hmm? Really, I don't read about the topic, teacher. I
Yeah,
want to learn.
whatever grammar is good for you.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, as in Spanish, in English we have too many structures, but one of the things that I tell my students is not to get worried about all those names and funny rules that the grammar have. The most important thing is that you assimilate the English you're receiving, the English that you're reading, and apply it to your communication. That's the most important thing. Have you had a chance where you have to where you have to answer a question and you say this sounds good to me, but I don't know why. Or in good Spanish, esto me suena bien así, aunque
Yes,
no sé por qué.
como la estética.
Yes, yes, that's right. So sometimes in English it happens like that. You don't know why, but you know it's right. So that's the most important thing in English. It doesn't matter if you don't know the names of the rules in grammar. The most important thing is that you know how to apply them. So that's what we are learning here. It's grammar, but we are trying to make that grammar go into your brain without all those funny names and things, trying to making this a little more fun than a regular grammar class. So have you ever heard about these words before? Used to or be or get used to?
I hear used to, but the things you solías,
Hmm.
the traduction solías in the past,
Totally.
things
Yes.
you did in the past is was common, but no more in the present.
Great. That's about it. That's what it is. So I hope that you're going to get this really soon and really quickly. It's easy, but it has a couple tricks to get it. So let's move on to the next thing. Mm, these structures are used to talk about customs. Customs as things that we do as a routine. Yeah? In the first case, it is about routines that are already past. They are not a part of our lives anymore. And other routines are actual, they are current. That means they are happening at the moment. So that's the big difference between these two topics of today. The routines that were from the past and the routines that are happening now. As you can see, there is a coffee cup, a girl playing hide and seek, and a little boy playing marbles. Um, I actually chose those images because there is no other, not a perfect way to express our past routines than those things that we did when we were little kids. So that's why I chose those images of kids playing and a coffee to express maybe the routines that we are doing now. Let's move on to the next. Okay, we have used to and infinitive. Do you know what the infinitive is?
Yes, the the verb with the particular to.
Yes, correct. So it's like a verb that hasn't been conjugated. It's just a verb in the basic form. For example, to jump, to read, to sleep, to sing, to talk, those are all infinitives. This structure of used to plus infinitive is used to express actions that were part of the subject's routine. I underlined where because this word is the one that expresses that it's a past action. So the subject of the sentence used to do this thing. Yes, so it was part of his past routine. He doesn't do it anymore. For example, in the images that I show you here, when I was little, I used to play marbles with my friends, but now I don't do it anymore. I would look funny. I'm a teacher in a high school, and I've been a teacher there for around 8 years now, but I decided to move on to primary school. So nowadays, I'm retaking this routine of playing with toys because all these kids in primary school look at the teacher like a friend, and well, they see me like a friend, so I try to offer them an opportunity to play. So I'm retaking these old routines that I had. So playing with marbles and hide and seek and all those things are part of my routine now, but they were lost for a long time.
I drink coffee too.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Well, that's what I do every morning. Right. So they used to plus the infinitive is to talk about the routines that are no longer part of our routine. So they are past, they are history. For example, Matt used to drink coffee in the mornings. He doesn't do it anymore. He prefers tea now, maybe soda. Es un traicionero. Se cambió de bando. Now he doesn't drink coffee anymore in the mornings. So Matt used to drink coffee in the mornings. And the other example is we used to play hide and seek or marbles in our neighborhood. Okay, so those are things that the subject, in this case, Matt or we, do not do anymore. They are past routines. Okay, remember that we can use these structures with negative and interrogative sentences. Can you think of a negative sentence that you want to say using this structure? Let me give you an example. For example, I don't used to play hide and seek with my friends anymore. Can you think about another?
Mm, I teacher in the structure I can use did it? Yes, no? I didn't.
Yes,
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 I
of course.
didn't used to mm, go by bus until my 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 school.
Hmm.
I
Okay, so
didn't
the
used to go by bus to my school.
correct. That's a very good example. So I didn't used to go by bus to my school. Yes, excellent. So I'm gonna show you the examples here. Marcela didn't used to study for tests in high school, and did Luz used to read sci-fi books? Yes. So as you see, I had you in mind when I was preparing this class. Did you used to study for the test in high school or not?
Yes,
Did I?
yes,
Yeah, you used to study.
yes, I used to study.
Okay, so I missed the spot there. I thought that you didn't used to study. I remember in the university, a teacher of French, she didn't like me at all because I didn't study for the tests. I don't know, the languages have been kind of easy for me, so I just paid attention to the class, and that was enough for me. I didn't need to study. So I didn't study for the tests, but I always got good grades. And the teacher was very mad at me because sometimes I didn't go to class. I was a bad student. I am not disciplined. I am like one of those little rascals in school that don't pay attention to the teacher. They are messing around all the time. But when the test comes, the little devils have good scores. So the teachers are like, "Oh my God, no! I wanted to. I wanted him to fail to show him that he has to pay attention, but nah, he passed, and now what can I do? Just continue dealing with the devil in the classroom. So yeah, it was like that in the university. I am not proud about it, but the teacher always took advantage of a grade that was called follow up or seguimiento, and she always put the lowest score to me on that. So my good grades on the tests were lowered by these follow-up grades. So I always had French in 3.2, 3.3, even though my scores in the midterms or parciales, they were very high, like 4.8, 4.9, but the follow-up grade always messed my average score. And I am grateful. I am grateful with that teacher. She taught me that it's not only talent that counts, it's to be a good person and respect the people for what they are doing. So I have changed a lot.
Now you're a teacher.
Yeah, I'm a teacher and I appreciate the good discipline and good behavior of my students.
Yes.
But in some way, it helps me understand them when they are stepping on the chairs and sitting on the tables. Uh, it feels like coming back to my childhood. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have these two examples in. Sorry?
What teacher? Sorry.
No problem. So we had these two examples. Marcela didn't used to study for tests in high school, and Didlus used to read sci-fi books. We have one negative on top and the interrogative at the
Interactive.
bottom. Yes. So remember that given that this structure is to talk about past routines, we normally use the past structure. So did is our friend here to talk in negative and interrogative, right? Because the did is the one that marks the past.
Mhm.
Remember that when we have did in the sentence, the verb doesn't need the past form. That's why in these sentences we write use, only use, but we don't put the d because the past is already marked by did, right? Do you
Yes,
understand? Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes, yes, yes. When
Yeah,
they appear, they did, the verb is in present, in the basic
yeah,
form.
yeah, in the basic form because the
That
did
is
is
in
already
the,
marking that part.
yes.
Okay, so be used to plus verb in the ing form is not only that, you know that when verbs end in ing, they can also be considered as nouns. That mean things or subjects or ideas in general. They are considered like one thing instead of one action, right? So they are nouns. When the verb is in the ing form, they are considered nouns.
When the verb has ing
Yes?
noun,
Yeah, it's a noun. So for example, you say working is hard. Yes? So if you see working is hard, the word working is in the sentence it is like the subject because you say working is. Normally we say I am, she is, it is, we are, but in this case the subject of the sentence is working. There is where we can identify that an action with the ing form transforms into a noun, into a subject, something that can do an action. Yes. So running is good for you. If you see, running is doing the action of being good. Yes. All right. So after all that blah 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 about the ing, we go to the right thing that we need to study for this. So it's be used to and the verb in the ing form. Can also be another noun. I will explain this a little bit later. So this form is to express that the subject has done something enough times to be accustomed, to be familiar with it. For example, you and I are students of the University UNAD, right? So we are used to study online. We are used to get on a web page, open with username and password, and read documents and make a workshop or do homework based on what the teachers leave for us on a virtual environment. Yes? So we are used to studying online. We are going to put the examples. So it says, Marelis is used to studying online. As I was saying, you got to pay attention to the word studying. It's with ing form. So after is used to, we need to pay attention because the if it is a verb, it goes with ing. Then we have the other example in blue color that it says, my grandpa is used to making calls on FaceTime. Hey, that's a good grandpa, right?
Teacher, but
Yes.
that is in the present.
Yes. Well, in
Whatever,
this case,
whatever the used is in the past.
yes. Well, this form be used to and get used to can be used in the present, in the past, or in the future. Yes. But we are going to see more of those examples a little bit later. But for example, you can say instead of Marelis is used to studying online, we can say Marelis was used to studying online. Yes. It expresses that she was accustomed, that it was a routine for her to study online. So we can also say it in the past. Or in the future, we can say Marelis will be used to studying online after she spends some time at UNAD. Do you understand the question? Did I answer it or do you need more?
Yes, yes, teacher. But I know cómo sería la traducción.
Ok, es Marelis está acostumbrada a estudiar online y mi abuelo está acostumbrado a hacer llamadas por FaceTime.
Ah, okay, but I want to say in the past, Marelis was used to studying online.
Eso, Marelis estaba acostumbrada.
Ah, ya, ya, ya.
Y en la otra, en el del ejemplo pasado, era Marelis solía estudiar online, ¿cierto? Ahí es donde está la diferencia. Estaba acostumbrada y solía. Estamos marcando la, como unos matices de la oración, tanto si solía o si lo hacía constantemente a si estaba acostumbrada, ¿cierto? Uno puede estar acostumbrado, pero no hacerlo ya.
Yes.
Y la otra, soler, soler hacer algo es hacerlo repetidas veces. Entonces es lo que estamos tratando de marcar ahí.
Ah, ya.
So in this case, Marelis is used to studying online. We are focusing on her uh, custom right now. She has done the study online so many times that she is used to it now. Yes. So she has passed through a process where studying online has become a custom, a routine. My grandpa has made so many calls on FaceTime that now it is a routine for him. Yes. So he is used to making calls on FaceTime. That means he has done this several times, and now she can do it with no problems. Yes,
Yes. Thank you, teacher.
no problem. Now let's move on. Again, we can use this concept with negative and interrogative sentences. We'll try giving your own examples in different structures. Can you think about an affirmative, a negative, an interrogative? Maybe about you, about me, about the people you have around.
Mm,
An affirmative first, for example.
I am used to uh, getting up early.
Perfect. I'm used to getting up early. Correct. That's a very good example. Now think about a negative.
Mm, a ver, espera, wait. Mm, My cats are are not used to going to the park.
Okay, you said my what? Your what?
My cats.
Oh, your cats. You're a cat lady, huh?
Cat, cat, cats.
Why do you
My
like cats?
yes, I have
Why? Why
three.
do? Wow, three? Oh my God. Why do you like them?
Uh, they are so friendly, tender, and independent. Then I work all day. Then I don't worry about them.
Yeah, they
Mm,
just need food and space.
sleep, food, yes. My cats uh, are not used to walking in the park.
Correct. So you got it really fast. You're a fast learner, let me tell you. Because when we say two, it's like almost automatic that we say the verb without the ing. So normally the people make this mistake. They say my cats are not used to walk in the park, and that's a little mistake because let's be real, the American people or the people who speaks English, they are not going to say what did you say, I don't understand. No, because you are saying actually words that are understandable, they are easy to be understood. But if we want to speak properly after the two, when we use the verb to be, we need to put the ing like you did. So you're a fast learner. I think this class is going to end very soon because I don't have anything else to teach you. So yes, my cats aren't used to walking in the park. That's a really good negative example. Can you think about interrogative?
Uh, are are they used to drinking coffee?
Correct. Yes, they are. They need it. They can't live without it.
Yes, I need a coffee.
Yeah, come on. Imagine getting to the office in the morning and not having that peace, that cup of peace for your mind. No, no, no. I'm actually drinking a cup, a big one now.
Yes, it's necessary.
Yeah, I just had the flu, coronavirus. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I had the flu a week ago, and I had to change from coffee to one of those hot tea. I hated it, but I knew it was good for my throat and for my body. But nah, I was counting the minutes to come back to the good old coffee.
Gastritis, gastritis,
Yeah, gastritis, gastritis. Yes.
gastritis.
Well, it's coffee is my, I don't know. It's my love. Besides my wife, it's my love. I can't live without him. All
Yeah.
right, so get used to plus the verb in the ing. It is to make emphasis on the transition towards a custom. So I don't know if maybe these two lines are clear, but what we want to do with the get used to is that we want to draw the attention of the person who is listening towards the fact that a process is taking place. So, for example, if we use your cats in the sentence again, we say, "My cats are not used to walking in the park, but if I take them there enough times, they can get used to it." You see the difference? My cats are getting used to walk in the park because I am taking them to the park several times during the week. So the cats get used to walking in the park if the master or if the person takes them there. Yes. So
Yes.
we are making an emphasis on the process of not liking it to doing it several times. So with this form, we make the emphasis on the transition, on the process that a person or that an animal have towards doing things. In this case,
Okay.
we have these two. Marelis is getting used to living in the new apartment. As we see here, we are making emphasis on the process. Marelis is not still is not used to it to living in the new apartment yet, but she is slowly getting uh, the custom to living there. And on the second example, Luz slowly got used to the noise of her children. In this case, I guess is her cats, right?
Mm.
Marcela slowly got used to the noise of her cats. Are your cats noisy?
My cat?
Yeah. Are they noisy? I mean, do they do a lot of noise? They are like crazy children around, or they are
No,
peaceful
no,
and quiet?
sometimes they play. No, yeah. Sometimes they are, but cats.
That's a good answer. But cats, yeah, you know them. So as you see here, we are making an emphasis on the process. Luz slowly got used to the noise of her children. That means in the beginning she was not used to it, but then she started to get used to it. Yes.
The second they lose slowly is in past. Well, just
Yes,
yes.
yes. I was wanting
Oh,
to express that it can be used in the past and in the present and in the future.
yes, it's getting used. Got used. Okay, teacher.
Yes. Okay, so if you see in the first example we have the verb in ing. That means living, getting used to living in the new apartment. And on the second we have getting got used to the noise. If you see the word noise is a noun, el ruido. And up there, living is the noun. So we can use a verb with ing, or we can use a thing, a person,
Don't mind.
in
Eh,
general.
okay.
Okay,
The,
now we're, yes, tell me.
in the second sentence, can I say the Lucy slowly got used to the noisy of her children?
No, because the word
No.
noisy would be an adjective. So if
Yeah,
we say
yes,
noisy,
yes, teacher. The
okay,
verb,
yes,
verb with ing. Yes, yes, teacher. Sorry.
okay. So maybe what we can do there with another verb would be like Lou slowly got used to the playing
Yeah,
of their children, like yeah, like
yes,
a
teacher.
verb with ing
Verb
or a
with ing.
noun in
Yes.
general. Good. So what I have this for this session of exercises is try to pass the quiz with at least 60%. I'm gonna share with you a link to a quiz of the page of the British Council and see if we can solve it with at least 60%. I am not going to help you. I am just going to let you see the question. You tell me what answer I choose, and then you explain your choice, right? Let's try and see if it works. And then we are going to continue talking about the customs, using structures that we have seen during the grammar class, if we have the time. This class has flown so fast. It's like only half hour and I already explained the whole topic. It's good to work with a person who learns really fast. Okay, so
But I have to study. See, no.
yeah, well, the best way to study is to try and speak with other people. So there's no better way to study than that. We are going to try this grammar test number two, and and you tell me if you see it properly. Can you see the question?
Yes, teacher. I always hated the cold weather, but
Okay, you
I
take your
don't
time. Yeah, you take your time, you check the options, and then you tell me what is your option and why.
got uh, got used it to
Okay,
the second option.
got used to. So it's the second option, the option in the middle.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, why? Why do you think that's the option?
Because uh, that is in the past. He always hated in the past, and in the second part of the sentence, he said, "When I lived." That is in
Okay,
the past.
yes, perfect. And why don't you choose the last option, the one that says used to? It's also in the past, right? Why don't you choose that?
Uh, because used to that is in Spanish solía.
Hmm.
Se-
Okay,
no
that's a good
correct.
explanation in Spanish, but why don't you try to explain according to the rules that we saw why it can't be used in English? Don't skip through Spanish, you bad girl.
Uh, why don't used to? I don't know. I think the correct is got used to for.
Okay, let me show you again the page where we are explaining the use of used to, and then you tell me why. Like, okay, I thought it was explained on the slides, but it is not. So my mistake. Oh, but the title will explain it. Yes. Check the orange bar on top.
Yes,
What goes after used to?
infinitive.
The infinitive. So now let's move on again to the page, and if we see what is after you, if we put used to in that place, what
And
is after that? It is not an infinitive, right? It is
yes,
the word eat, and the word
yeah,
is it is representing the noun of the cold, right?
yes.
So we don't have an infinitive there, so used to is completely discarded. So yes, let's choose
And
your option. So you say the option in the middle, right?
yes,
Okay, and let's move on to the next question. It is not going to tell us if it's good or not, but until the end of the test. So you will have to be patient. Okay, let me see if maybe I can make this a little bigger. Yep, yep. Okay, there. What do you choose?
yes.
This is a hard one, right? Too many words.
The option three.
The option three. We didn't used to getting. We is that the last option? Didn't used to getting?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, think about it and explain why. Be careful with the cats.
Yes. My cat is here.
Yeah, I could hear him. It was like that noise was produced by a cat who was trying to get in the class. That cat wants to learn English, I'm pretty sure of it.
Uh, we didn't used to get in much positive feedback about our product. but the new formula is really possible. Why? Mm, didn't use no has the after to is no the verb with ing.
Correct. Okay, so your option is not the one, right?
No.
Okay. Now we only have the two first, right?
Yes, the second is in past, but uh, on, no is the correct structure.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm a bad teacher. I'm a bad person. I know. I'm sorry.
Why not? Uh, wearing is in past.
Mm-hmm.
Use también.
Chan, chan, chan.
Uh, wear. Used to wear ing. After used to the noun. In this case, the verb has to have ing.
Okay, ing, right. So it doesn't have it, so we discard it because after the verb to be and used to, we need the ing form, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the second is gone. What do we have left? The first one, right?
The tier one. Yes. Tier.
Yeah, so didn't used to get, right?
No.
No, not this one.
Which was
This
me
one,
option? No.
or was your cat?
No. No.
What
The
do you choose? The first one, second one,
tier.
second one,
No. Tier.
the first one, the third.
Yes. 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 Teacher.
Yes. Why?
No.
Okay, check this out. We have
I.
used to, right? Used to. Can you see the pointer of my mouse doing
Yes.
circles? Okay, so used to needs an infinitive, and this verb is with ing, so it's not correct
Why?
because we are using used to. The only way that we can use ing here is if here it was the verb to be. Like
Why?
we were used to getting.
Pero, ¿qué quieres decir?
Ok, mira. Cuando
En
tenemos el used to, ¿cierto?
yes.
Necesitamos el infinitivo. El used to también puede ser utilizado en oraciones negativas e interrogativas. Si tú
Ajá.
miras esta que tenemos en el quiz, es negativa, ¿cierto? Es negativa, está en pasado y tenemos el used to. ¿Por qué no le
Ajá.
ponemos la D? Porque ya lo tenemos
Más
en el did.
definitive.
Y
Yes.
mira que lo que sigue es el verbo con ing y no nos sirve porque tiene esa ing. Si
Pero
estuviera
no es el
correcto,
verbo
tendríamos que...
pero no hace el verbo el ing en ese caso no lo hace nombre.
Mm, sí, o sea, claro, pero como tenemos el used to que puede llevar esa ing es el que tiene el be used to. Y en este caso no hay verbo to be aquí, ¿cierto?
Ah, ya.
Aquí no hay verbo to be. Y tampoco está al principio de la oración, tampoco está por ahí. Entonces, no podemos utilizar este ing porque no tenemos el verbo to be en la opción. El verbo to be está acá, míralo en la segunda opción, pero nos vienen y nos dejan el verbo sin la ing.
Ujú.
Sí, sí la logras captar ya.
Sí.
Entonces,
Pero es
el
la
verbo
última
to
de
be
la
está aquí,
tercera.
pero no nos pone la ing. Aquí está el used to en negativo y el verbo sí está en infinitivo. ¿Sí lo ves?
Sí.
La primera opción sería la correcta y espero no equivocarme
Ujú.
ahorita que nos den el resultado, pero aquí es la única que está cumpliendo con las condiciones. El used to, así es en negativo, pero con el infinitivo. En este está el verbo to be, que sería be used to, solo que está en pasado, were used to, y el verbo no está con ing y tampoco es un noun. Pues si de pronto ese to get no estuviera aquí, sino que fuera como el match positive feedback, de pronto ahí podríamos tomar esto como el noun y ya nos
Mm,
dejaría utilizar eso, pero por ahora no está cumpliendo con todas las reglas. Entonces el weren't used to get is discarded because it's not with the ing form. So the only option that we have is didn't used to get. Yes? Is it clear for you?
yes, teacher. Thank you.
All right, so let's move on to the third one. I work from home, so people around me all day. You have two options with apostrophe M, which is I'm, and one option with used to having. So try to explain your answer. Choose one and explain why.
I work, so I am not used to have army all day. I am used to have.
What are you typing? ¿Qué escribes?
No,
¿Estás
estoy.
buscando en Google o qué? Ay, ay, ay.
No, 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 estoy con mi lapicero pasando los lapiceros y pensando.
Ñe, ñe, ñe.
No, de verdad que no estoy pensando. No, de verdad, estoy con mi lapicero. De hecho, es un lapicero de minas. Y ya lo voy a
No
dejar.
worries. Estoy bromeando solamente.
I work for teacher in, pero no, I, I think that is the I used to have it. Yeah, I used to have it. I know used to have. Teacher, the fifth?
The first, I'm not used to have people around me all day.
Yes, because the tier doesn't have the B.
Okay. So
The
yeah, used
yeah.
to alone plus ing doesn't work. That's a good reasoning. So we only have these two options.
In and the second, the negative structure is with use, and the correct is
Mhm.
with the verb to be. Yes.
So you mean the negative particle should be in another place?
Yes.
Okay. So the only one that is left is the first one.
Yes, I am correct.
No, but it is because of another topic that is kind of difficult to explain in this moment. But I know that the word that is messing your mind is this not, right? Why is the not there? You can't understand, right? It looks weird. ¿Cierto? Se ve raro ese not ahí.
Sí.
Ok. Es una forma de decirlo en inglés cuando... eh, es que como lo explico, es charrito, pero... A ver, yo pienso en un ejemplo. Por ejemplo, cuando decimos las oraciones negativas como que vienen como parte de otra oración, como él nos dijo que no lo hiciéramos, ¿cierto? Ese que no lo hiciéramos no puede ir con la estructura negativa normal que usamos. Entonces en inglés diríamos, he told us not to do it.
Como en el
He,
imperativo.
eso. Entonces, he told us not to do it.
Ah, yes.
Ese not, mira que normalmente uno pega el not como al auxiliar. do not, I'm not, is not, pero este not ahí flotando como que no nos cuadra. Pero en algunas oraciones ese not se dice así para expresar la negación del verbo siguiente dentro de una oración que ya tiene auxiliar, ¿cierto? El auxiliar de esta oración ya sería el I'm. Pero si le ponemos el not ahí después del I'm, quiere decir que no está acostumbrada, ¿cierto?
Claro.
Entonces, mira que ese not, si lo ponemos ahí donde estaríamos acostumbrados nosotros a hacerlo, nos va a modificar el sentido de la oración. Porque si decimos que ella
Mm,
no está acostumbrada, eh, nos va a cambiar el sentido de la oración. Vamos a hacerlo así. Dice, I work from home. O sea, trabaja desde la casa. So people around me all day. Entonces, aquí, si lo ponemos tal cual está aquí, dice, estoy acostumbrada a no tener. Este
Gen-
tener es un sustantivo, ¿te acuerdas? Decíamos que era un noun. Por
No.
eso el not aplica bien ahí. Entonces, estoy acostumbrada a no tener gente alrededor mío todo el día. En la primera opción, tú ves que está el verbo to be, luego el used to, y mira cómo está el verbo en
Ujú,
infinitivo. Y sabemos por la regla que tiene que ir con ing, ¿cierto?
ujú,
Entonces, después del verbo to be y el used to, el verbo tiene que ir con ing, y aquí no lo tiene.
ujú.
Entonces, el único que nos queda es verbo to be con used to y el verbo con ing, aunque este not esté ahí como generando unos problemas y cortocircuito ahí entre las neuronas. ¿Listo? Pero está bien hecho. Entonces la opción sería la segunda por todo eso que te dije. Yo sé que estabas tirando a la primera como, bueno, yo no sé, yo soy paisa, entonces la palabra tirar pues es como muy común aquí para lanzar y como escoger y eso. Perdóname si de pronto en tu zona donde vives esa palabra es muy fea, tal vez.
Suena lo mismo, significa lo mismo.
Ok, perfect. So, your first option, I am not used to have, it was like the least strange. Era como la menos extraña de todas. Pero si lo analizas, después de ver el verbo to be y el used to y el verbo sin la ing, ya daba para el descarte. ¿Listo?
Ninguna.
Entonces solo nos quedaba esta, aunque ese not estuviera rarito ahí. Bueno, vamos a la siguiente. Yo voy a ver qué hora es. Bueno, todavía tenemos un par de minutos, como 9 minutos. Vamos a tratar de hacer esto rápido. Dice entonces, I heard Elisa got promoted. Ajá, as her as your boss yet. Entonces, ¿entiendes la frase?
Ujú.
Ok, trata de decirme entonces cuál
I,
sería tu opción.
I used to having her. Uh, the first are you used to having. Why?
Perfecto. Y
Because the
es
structure
que tiene el
and
verbo to be, the verb to be, used to, and the verb in the ing. Yes. The others do not have that. Did you used is weird because it's past here and past here is incorrect, right? So the mistake is kind of obvious. And here we have the verb to be, but the verb is not in ing. So I think you are correct on this one. Next question is, you've stopped hiking, but why? You, all the time.
you got used to go. Get used to go. Got used to go all the time. The second teacher.
Okay, got used to go.
I mean,
Remember that get and to be used to need the ing form. Do you see the ing form on the second option?
no teacher.
Okay, so is it the option?
Yes. No, sorry.
So which one is left?
No, no, no. Uh, you used to go. Used to go.
Yeah, you used to go. So we have used to and the verb in infinitive.
And,
Hiking. Do you know what hiking is?
stop hiking. No, teacher. Not really.
Hiking is when you go to walk in the countryside, like a
Ah,
place that
yes,
is
yes, yes.
green
Yes,
with
yes.
trees in the forest. Yeah, that's hiking.
Como caminata. Algo así. Yes.
You go all
Hike.
the time. Got used to go. We know that it's the ing form. In used to, going is incorrect because ing doesn't go with used to. Okay? I've been a nurse for 2 years, but I don't know if I night shifts. That word shifts means turnos.
Turnos. Ujú.
Turnos nocturnos. Yes? Okay.
Turnos nocturnos. Me cago y todo. I've been a nurse for 2 years, but I don't know. I I get used to or I ever get used to working. I the fears.
I'll ever used
Mira,
to work.
the is future will.
Is future. Yes, it's future. So do you think we can use the first one in the future?
Ever used to work, but I don't know if I ever used to work. I get used to work. I ever get used to work.
That's a tricky one. Are you there? Hello? Hello? Okay, I guess the student has been disconnected for some reason. Maybe something happened. The cat disconnected the computer. Who knows? These things happen. Well, Marcela, it was a really good session. Mm, I will continue explaining these couple questions that we have left. And it says, I've been a nurse for 2 years, but I don't know if I night shifts. In this case, the first option is not the right one because we can't speak about past customs in the future. So